Stop trying to go back to sleep. That's right, I'm telling you to do the exact opposite of what every sleep expert, doctor, and well-meaning friend has ever advised you. For years, you've been told that waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. is a problem that needs fixing, a sleep disorder that requires medication, or simply bad luck with your circadian rhythm. But what if everything you've been taught about these midnight awakenings is not just wrong, it's preventing you from accessing the most profound spiritual experiences of your entire life? Here's the truth that will shatter everything you thought you knew. Those moments when you suddenly find yourself wide awake at 3:33 a.m. aren't accidents, glitches in your sleep cycle, or signs of anxiety. They're divine appointments. While you've been cursing these awakenings and desperately trying to fall back asleep, you've been unknowingly rejecting personal invitations from the universe itself. The same cosmic intelligence that orchestrates the movement of planets and the evolution of consciousness has been trying to reach you during the most spiritually potent hours on Earth, and you've been hanging up on it. Every spiritual tradition throughout history has recognized these pre-dawn hours as sacred time, when the veil between dimensions dissolves and direct communication with higher realms becomes not just possible, but inevitable. This is when Moses received the 10 Commandments, when Jesus withdrew to commune with the divine, when Buddha achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The physica quantica of consciousness reveals that your brain naturally produces the same frequencies during these hours that mystics spend decades trying to achieve through meditation. Your pineal gland, your biological third eye, floods your system with DMT and other spiritual compounds that literally expand your consciousness beyond the limitations of ordinary reality. But here's where it gets really controversial. If you're not waking up during these hours, you might actually be spiritually asleep at the wheel of your own evolution. The universe operates on divine timing, and these midnight calls aren't random, they're cosmic alarm clocks programmed by your own EU superior. Every time you reach for melatonin or scroll through your phone in frustration, you're essentially declining the most exclusive invitation in existence, a personal audience with the creative force that's trying to accelerate your jornada a spiritual and material prosperity beyond anything you've ever imagined. What I'm about to reveal are 3 specific practices that will transform these inconvenient awakenings into the most powerful manifestation tool you'll ever possess. These aren't complex rituals from ancient texts, they're simple, proven techniques that ordinary people are using right now to receive life-changing guidance, experience miraculous healing, and manifest abundance at speeds that defy logical explanation. The results speak for themselves. People report solving problems that had plagued them for years, receiving crystal-clear direction about their life purpose, and attracting opportunities that seemed impossible just weeks before. The question isn't whether you'll wake up again between 3 and 5 a.m., the question is, are you finally ready to stop fighting the most powerful spiritual gift you've ever been given? There's something profoundly mysterious about waking up in the dead of night, particularly between 3 and 5 a.m. Throughout history, spiritual traditions have recognized this window as a sacred time when the veil between dimensions becomes remarkably thin. It's during these quiet hours that the universe seems to whisper its secrets, and our consciousness naturally expands beyond the limitations of everyday awareness. The ancient scriptures speak of divine encounters happening precisely during these early morning hours. Think of Samuel hearing God's voice in the temple, or Jesus himself rising before dawn to commune with the divine. This isn't mere coincidence, it's a testament to the spiritual significance embedded within this temporal space. The physics of consciousness reveals something extraordinary during these pre-dawn hours. When our minds are free from the constant bombardment of daily stimuli, our brains naturally shift into theta and delta wave states, frequencies that modern science associates with deep meditation and spiritual insight. It's as if our EU superior becomes more accessible, more willing to communicate with our conscious mind. Neville Goddard often spoke about the power of these twilight states, describing them as golden opportunities for manifestation and divine connection. The vibration of the earth itself changes during these hours, creating an energetic environment that's incredibly conducive to spiritual experiences and expanded awareness. Consider the biblical account of Jacob wrestling with the angel until daybreak, or Moses receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai during the early morning hours. These weren't random occurrences but deliberate divine appointments scheduled during humanity's most receptive moments. The spiritual realm operates on frequencies that align perfectly with our natural biorhythms during this sacred window. When we awaken spontaneously between 3 and 5 a.m., we're essentially receiving an invitation, a cosmic nudge from forces beyond our immediate perception. This is the time when guardian angels, spirit guides, and our own higher consciousness find it easiest to break through the noise of our everyday existence. The spirituality embedded in these moments goes far beyond simple sleep disruption. Ancient wisdom traditions from around the world have recognized this time as the hour of mercy or the time of divine visitation. It's when the energy of the universe shifts, creating a natural portal for spiritual communication and enlightenment. Your jornada espiritual is profoundly influenced by how you respond to these midnight awakenings. Rather than viewing them as inconveniences, enlightened individuals throughout history have embraced these moments as opportunities for profound spiritual growth and divine connection. The centella divina within each of us burns brightest during these quiet hours, when the distractions of the material world fade into silence. What makes this time so spiritually significant is the unique combination of factors that converge during these hours. The electromagnetic field of the Earth reaches its most stable point, creating an environment where psychic phenomena and spiritual experiences flourish. Your pineal gland, often called the third eye, produces its highest levels of DMT and melatonin during this window, naturally enhancing your capacity for mystical experiences. The collective unconscious of humanity enters its deepest state, making it easier to tap into universal wisdom and cosmic intelligence. This is why so many prophets, mystics, and spiritual teachers have reported their most profound revelations during these pre-dawn hours. They understood that the universe itself was actively trying to communicate with them. When you find yourself awake during these sacred hours, the first and most powerful practice is meditation, but not the complicated, intimidating kind that requires years of training. This is about simple, accessible connection with your higher self that anyone can do, regardless of experience or belief system. Simply sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing for just 5 to 10 minutes. As thoughts arise, don't fight them, acknowledge them like clouds passing through the sky of your consciousness, then gently return your attention to your breath. This practice during the 3 to 5 a.m. window creates a direct channel for spiritual communication, allowing the universe to download insights, guidance, and healing energy directly into your awareness. The beauty of this midnight meditation lies in its simplicity and profound effectiveness. You don't need special cushions, incense, or mantras, just your willingness to be present with whatever the universe wants to share with you. During these pre-dawn hours, your mind naturally enters alpha and theta states, making meditation incredibly easy and deeply transformative. Many practitioners report receiving life-changing visions, solutions to problems, and direct guidance from their EU superior during these sessions. The key is to approach this practice with childlike curiosity rather than rigid expectations, allowing your consciousness to expand naturally into the infinite possibilities that await. The second transformative practice involves the power of mantras before sleep, sacred sounds and affirmations that program your subconscious mind for spiritual evolution and material prosperity. You can use traditional Sanskrit mantras like Om Namah Shivaya or Soham, repeating them silently as you drift back to sleep. Alternatively, create personal affirmations aligned with your desires. I am divinely guided and protected, abundance flows to me effortlessly, or my highest good manifests with ease. Neville Goddard emphasized the power of these twilight states for manifestation, explaining how the subconscious mind is most receptive to programming during the transition between waking and sleeping consciousness. The magic happens when you combine these mantras with genuine feeling and visualization. As you repeat your chosen words, imagine the energy of each syllable resonating through your entire being, creating vibrations that align you with your desired reality. Picture yourself already living the life you're affirming, feeling the emotions of that accomplished state. This practice works because you're essentially planting seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious during its most receptive phase. The universe responds to these energetic frequencies, orchestrating circumstances and opportunities that match your vibrational signature. Many students of manifestation report dramatic life changes beginning within days of consistent pre-sleep mantra practice. The third and perhaps most profound practice is using these awakening moments for spiritual reflection and inner guidance. When you wake during these hours, instead of reaching for your phone or worrying about tomorrow's responsibilities, turn inward and ask meaningful questions. What is my soul trying to tell me? How can I better serve my highest purpose? What patterns need to change in my life? This is your direct line to cosmic intelligence, your personal hotline to the divine guidance system that's always available but rarely accessed. The answers may come as sudden insights, symbolic images, or profound knowing that seems to arise from nowhere. Trust these messages, for they're coming from the wisest part of yourself. Carl Jung understood something profound about the human psyche that most people miss entirely, that our spiritual sensitivity isn't just a fleeting experience but a fundamental aspect of our psychological evolution. In his groundbreaking work on spirituality and transcendence, Jung revealed that the unconscious mind constantly communicates through symbols, dreams, and synchronicities, especially during periods of heightened spiritual awareness. When you begin awakening during those sacred 3 to 5 a.m. hours, you're essentially opening a dialogue with what Jung called the collective unconscious, the shared spiritual DNA of humanity. This process of individuation, as Jung termed it, requires consistent attention to maintain the delicate balance between conscious awareness and unconscious wisdom. The key is developing what he called active imagination, the ability to engage consciously with unconscious content without losing yourself in fantasy. Jung's practical approach to sustaining spiritual sensitivity involves daily dream work and symbol recognition. Start keeping a dream journal beside your bed, and immediately upon waking, especially during those midnight awakenings, write down any images, emotions, or symbols that emerged during sleep. Jung discovered that our EU superior communicates primarily through archetypal imagery that transcends cultural boundaries. For example, if you dream of water, it often represents emotional or spiritual cleansing. Flying dreams typically indicate spiritual liberation or transcendence. The practice becomes transformative when you begin recognizing these patterns and responding to their guidance in your waking life. Jung himself spent decades analyzing his own dreams and reported that this practice fundamentally changed his understanding of reality and his connection to the divine. The Jungian concept of holding the tension of opposites becomes crucial for maintaining spiritual sensitivity without becoming overwhelmed by psychic experiences. Jung taught that spiritual growth requires us to embrace paradox, to be both grounded in reality and open to transcendent experiences. This means developing what he called differentiated consciousness, the ability to distinguish between genuine spiritual insights and psychological projections. Practically, this involves regular self-reflection, asking yourself, is this insight coming from my ego's desires or from a deeper spiritual source? Jung recommended spending at least 15 minutes daily in quiet contemplation, not trying to achieve any particular state but simply observing the natural flow of thoughts and images. This practice helps you recognize the difference between authentic spiritual guidance and wishful thinking. Jung's understanding of synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that seem to connect inner and outer reality, provides another powerful tool for sustaining spiritual sensitivity. When you start paying attention to these cosmic breadcrumbs, you'll notice that the universe constantly provides feedback about your spiritual journey. Perhaps you think of an old friend and they call unexpectedly, or you encounter the same symbolic number repeatedly throughout your day. Jung believed these weren't random occurrences but evidence of what he called a causal orderedness, a deeper pattern connecting all existence. To harness this phenomenon, start a synchronicity journal, noting unusual coincidences and their potential meanings. Over time, you'll develop what Jung called symbolic attitude, the ability to read the spiritual significance embedded in everyday experiences. The culmination of Jung's approach involves what he termed active participation in the transcendent function, consciously collaborating with the spiritual forces that guide human evolution. This isn't about passive reception of divine messages but active co-creation with the universe's unfolding intelligence. Jung practiced this through creative expression, allowing unconscious content to flow through painting, writing, in what he called confrontation with the unconscious. You can apply this by dedicating time each week to creative activities without any specific goal, just letting your deeper self express through whatever medium calls to you. Whether it's drawing, writing, dancing, or singing, the key is approaching these activities as spiritual practices rather than artistic achievements. Jung discovered that this creative engagement dramatically enhanced his ability to receive and interpret spiritual guidance throughout his life. Penny Peirce's revolutionary understanding of personal vibration reveals that maintaining high-frequency energy throughout your daily routine isn't just beneficial, it's essential for manifesting the life your soul truly desires. In Frequency, the Power of Personal Vibration, Peirce explains that everything in the universe operates on specific vibrational frequencies, and your personal energy field acts like a radio station broadcasting your inner state to the cosmos. When you consistently maintain elevated vibrations, you literally become a magnet for experiences, people, and opportunities that match your energetic signature. The challenge lies in sustaining this high-frequency state amidst the inevitable chaos and lower vibrational influences of modern life. Peirce discovered that the key isn't avoiding negative experiences but learning to process them without allowing them to permanently lower your vibrational set point. The practical application of Peirce's frequency work begins with what she calls vibrational awareness, the ability to recognize and consciously adjust your energy throughout the day. Start by checking in with your emotional and energetic state every hour, asking yourself, what frequency am I broadcasting right now? Notice how different activities, people, and environments affect your vibration. Peirce teaches that prosperity and abundance naturally flow to those who maintain frequencies of gratitude, joy, and creative excitement. Create specific frequency anchors throughout your day, perhaps a particular piece of music that instantly elevates your mood, a gratitude practice during meals, or a brief meditation between tasks. The goal isn't perfection but consistent realignment with your highest vibrational potential, understanding that each moment offers a fresh opportunity to tune back into your divine frequency. Peirce's concept of frequency matching becomes crucial for understanding how the universe responds to your vibrational offerings. She explains that like attracts like on an energetic level, when you embody the frequency of abundance, the universe must deliver experiences that match that vibration. This isn't wishful thinking but quantum physics in action, where your consciousness literally shapes your reality through energetic resonance. To practice this, spend 10 minutes each morning visualizing yourself already living your desired life, feeling the emotions and sensations of that accomplished state. Throughout the day, return to these elevated feelings whenever you notice your frequency dropping. Peirce emphasizes that this isn't about forcing positive emotions but genuinely cultivating the energetic states that align with your soul's deepest desires and highest purpose. The maintenance of high vibrational frequency requires what Peirce calls energetic boundaries, protecting your personal energy field from external influences that could drag you into lower frequencies. This involves becoming highly selective about the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the environments you frequent. Peirce teaches that energy vampires in toxic situations aren't just uncomfortable, they're literally disrupting your ability to manifest your highest good. Develop a daily practice of energetic clearing, perhaps through sage burning, salt baths, or simply visualizing golden light surrounding your entire being. When you encounter lower vibrational people or situations, practice what Peirce calls frequency shielding, maintaining your high vibration while sending love and compassion to those operating from fear or negativity. Pierce's most advanced teaching involves what she terms frequency leadership, becoming so stable in your high vibrational state that you naturally elevate the consciousness of everyone around you. This isn't about preaching or teaching but simply embodying such consistent joy, peace, and creative energy that others are inspired to raise their own frequencies. She discovered that individuals who master their personal vibration become unconscious healers, spreading elevated consciousness wherever they go. The ultimate goal is reaching what Pierce calls frequency mastery, a state where maintaining high vibration becomes as natural as breathing, where you're so aligned with your soul's frequency that lower vibrational experiences simply can't penetrate your energy field. This level of vibrational stability creates what she describes as miraculous living, a life where synchronicities, abundance, and spiritual experiences become the norm rather than the exception. So here's the moment of truth. You now possess the 3 sacred keys that can transform every midnight awakening into a direct conversation with the universe itself. But knowledge without action is just sophisticated procrastination. Tonight, when you inevitably wake up during those divine hours, you have a choice that will determine the trajectory of your entire spiritual evolution. Will you roll over and reach for your phone, allowing another cosmic appointment to slip through your fingers? Or will you finally embrace the profound spiritual gift that's been waiting patiently for your acceptance? The universe doesn't operate on your schedule, it operates on divine timing. And if you're experiencing these 3 to 5 a.m. awakenings, it means your soul has reached a level of readiness that demands immediate action. Your EU superior has been preparing you for this moment, orchestrating circumstances and experiences that have led you to this exact information at this exact time. This isn't coincidence, this is cosmic precision. The question that should be burning in your mind right now isn't whether these practices work, but whether you're finally ready to step into the extraordinary life that's been calling your name. What's going to happen when you start implementing these 3 practices tonight? When you begin that simple meditation during your next 3 a.m. awakening, what revelations will flood your consciousness? When you start programming your subconscious with powerful mantras as you drift back to sleep, what miraculous manifestations will begin appearing in your reality? When you turn those midnight moments into profound spiritual reflections, what life-changing insights will emerge from the depths of your divine wisdom? The answers to these questions aren't theoretical, they're waiting for you to discover them through direct experience. But here's what I need you to understand: transformation requires commitment, not just inspiration. The universe has been patient with you, sending these midnight invitations over and over again, but there comes a point where spiritual opportunity expires if left unused. Your jornada espiritual isn't a passive experience, it's an active collaboration with the creative forces that govern reality itself. Every night you choose to ignore these practices is another night you're essentially telling the universe you're not ready for the abundance, guidance, and spiritual expansion that's trying to flow into your life. Think about where you'll be 6 months from now if you continue treating these awakenings as inconveniences instead of the spiritual goldmine they actually are. Will you still be the same person, dealing with the same problems, living the same limited reality? Or will you be someone who has tapped into the infinite wisdom of the cosmos, someone who receives divine guidance as naturally as breathing, someone whose life has become a living testament to the power of spiritual alignment? The choice is yours, but the window of opportunity won't remain open indefinitely. If this information has awakened something deep within your soul, if you're finally ready to stop fighting the most powerful spiritual gift you've ever been given, then I need you to take action right now. Subscribe to this channel and activate those notifications, because what you've learned today is just the beginning of a much deeper journey into the mysteries of consciousness, manifestation, and spiritual evolution. There are ancient secrets, quantum principles, and mystical practices that can accelerate your transformation beyond anything you've ever imagined, but only if you're serious about walking this path with unwavering commitment.